when you met this person, right place, right time, a healing ceremony, that was the moment that it reconnected for you. Was there medicine involved in the ceremony?
No medicine at the time. It was angels, actually.
Wow.
And it was a guy, and in the past, I used to go to parties, and take recreational drugs. I never had like a problem with it, but anything I do, I'm an intense person. Anything I do, I like to go head first and, just do it all. And so I used to party a lot. I used to go to a lot of festivals. All of my friends were in the music industry. We used to travel to gorgeous nature places, to go to raves and things like that. And in that moment, so this healer told me, oh, there is an angel here who wants to help you. It's connected to you, but he is requesting that you stop what you're doing completely. And I was like, well, I want to balance myself out a little more, have more focus, but I'm not going to just stop completely. This is the way, I have fun. And I didn't see a problem with that because, I was doing recreational drugs that were connecting me to something that I knew was there but couldn't see with my naked eye. So I felt that was like being spiritual, So I told him I wasn't going to stop. And he told me, well, go home. I just removed 13 entities from your body. Go home. Have a rest for 3 days. Don't drink any alcohol. Don't do any drugs. Don't do anything. And come back here and let me know your answer. And so on the second night, I got woken up by a big flash of light that came from the ceiling into my heart. And in that moment, I felt everything. I just felt the truth of that moment and the calling that I was truly being called to step forward in my path and take responsibility for my life, for my well-being, and for my mission here. That moment was very special. So I went back to him and I said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do it. Let's see how it goes. And so I laid on the bed, and this guy was a medium. He looked a little crazy because he would talk to you and go like, what? Oh, okay, I'm telling her. And like, and like, I didn't know if this person was sane or if he was nuts. So he was in Brazil. And so he was just sitting on a chair behind me and describing what was happening to me. And he was like, oh, the angel is here and he's putting a crystal in your heart. And I'm like, what?
Did the angel have a name?
Yeah, it was Angel Gabriel.
Wow.
And he said he was putting a crystal in my heart. And I'm like, okay, I'm really struggling to believe this. And then I just like, in my mind, I was like, if you're really here, please give me a sign, because I'm not believing any of this. This is too much for me to comprehend. And in that moment, I felt an embrace, like a warm embrace, like a hug. And I just started crying, just like tears were rolling down my eyes. He couldn't see me. He was back there. And I was just like feeling how special that moment was, because again, within me, I felt the same thing I felt when the light came, right? That sensation of being embraced by something so much bigger than me and something so pure and so divine. And so the session ended and the guy was like, okay, you can get up. We're done. And then he goes, oh, it was so beautiful. The angel hugged you. And in that moment, I was like, okay, this guy really, he's really, since he was little, he's always seen things. Yes. And in that moment, I believed all of it. And truly, my life completely changed from that day. Then I stopped taking all types of recreational drugs for a little while. Maybe for 6 months, I continued to go to raves on water. And people were like, how are you dancing for this many hours? I'm like, I just have so much energy, And I inspired a lot of people. I talked about having quit everything, and a lot of people were inspired by that. And then it got to a moment that I just couldn't be in those types of environments anymore, just because the energies were too much. I started cleansing myself. So then the journey started really fast. I started meeting the teachers. I met a teacher that was Native American, and with him I started doing vision quests. I started doing a lot of nature work. And from the first vision quest, things really, the remembrance from when I was a child and I had all those magical experiences that, because my parents didn't have the understanding or the tools, they helped me shut down all of those things that I could see, hear, feel, and so throughout my life, it became very clear that when I started potting, that I wanted to touch onto the unseen. And I loved nature so much because my spirit is a nature spirit. I go crazy if I'm locked inside the house for too much. I need to be in nature. In that moment, it became very clear that all the potting days was looking for that, was longing for that connection that I had lost. And in the potty days, through the recreational drugs, it took me to that window. I couldn't cross to the other side, but I could see a little bit of that magic that today I know to be real.